Hello, all. Welcome back to part two um, of my husband Charles' recovery into complete healing, his journey to healing. If you have not listened to part one, I would suggest that you do so that you will understand his full story. In part one, we said that the paramedic came and they took him to the hospital, and they did advise me that they will call me in 1 hour. So this was part one. So please listen to part one. If you have not yet subscribed, I would suggest that you do so. Share it to anyone that you know that will be blessed by our testimony, my husband and I testimony. So please share it. So part two goes like this. In the meantime, I called my immediate family to let them know what has just occurred, that Charles got a stroke. I also let my pastor know as well, and that I did advise everyone that they should pray. I started praying to God for the opportunity for Charles to make it right with him, as I do not think he was ready to meet his maker yet. So I did all of this while I awaited the call from the hospital. This was the longest hour ever. I finally received the call back I've been waiting for from the hospital. I was advised by the hospital to come down there. So I was advised to go to the hospital. I was shaken from head to toe, and I knew that I could not drive my vehicle. My son Tyrone called an Uber for me. I got dressed and awaited the Uber to arrive. Halfway to the hospital, I received another call from the hospital asking me how far I am away from the hospital and that I should hurry. With that statement, I knew that things were indeed bad. My heart hurts. I'm telling you, my heart hurts. I finally got into the hospital, and I was quickly ushered into a full PPE and then taken to my husband's bedside. Charles was not looking good at all. He was between death and life. This was not the man that left my house an hour ago. He deteriorated badly between that time. The first thing that I did with him, I did the sinner's prayer, as I was afraid for his soul. I encouraged him to pray in his heart. I can see that he was slipping away from me. The doctor pulled me aside and said that he may not make it, and if I want them to resuscitate him if he goes into cardiac arrest. I said yes. During the conversation with this doctor, he mentioned the word death regarding Charles 5 times. I refuse to accept the death sentence given by the doctor and call my pastor, my families, Deborah, my sister-in-law Princess, and my friend Rhoda, and I ask for prayer. I had them all knocking on heaven's door for my husband that night. I am confident that those prayers sustain him. Those prayers sustain my husband from death door that night. I know that God's mercy said no to death that night. God's mercy said no to death that night. Thank you. Please subscribe and wait for part 3. Thanks again. Bye-bye.